wanted to see a trap here. Thank you so much. So, welcome to the Artist. So, we started with a bang. I'm very happy to have Natalie doing performance. I saw her for the first time at TTT in Malta, but it was in a very well-lit room during a conference, and it did not really make like the right impression. I mean, it made a lot of impression on me, but it was not as it should have been. So I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for that. Yeah. So I should before we get into the artist talks, I should introduce this event. As usual, I should also remind you that we are sitting on the territory of many people, and this is like as much as it is a formality, I like to remind people of this, and especially because today we have some international guests who are also coming from territories that have been colonized and occupied by Spanish and so and many others like us, and so so besides that, this is a special event, and it's the last event of 4 events that we did with these amazing women, with Natalie Vilca Ocharan, with Cecillia Vilca, and with Praba Pilar. I invited them as part of the new college, NewONE, which is a program, interdisciplinary program based on social justice at the University of Toronto. And but the reason why I invited them is because they are all women in art, science, and technology, and we wanted to celebrate this, and also we wanted to anticipate a big event that will happen at the end of June, between June 23rd and June 29th at the University of Windsor, and it's organized by Jen. This is a large network of women and women identified who are working at the intersection of art, science, and technology. So this is the first appointment of this series of events as an anticipation of this. And as of tomorrow, I am sending off these 3 fantastic artists to Troy, and then they will come back to, 2 of them will come back to Buffalo. No, one of them will come, one only. So the 3 of them will go to Buffalo and then Troy, and then we will have another event in Troy, and then at the end of April we'll have another event in Buffalo. And this is because we have a network and we have other women who are organizing similar events there. And this is in preparation of the bigger event, which I think that this year will have 140 people. It's never been so big. So I just wanted to contextualize this. So let's turn the light off and let's turn the light on, and then we can start with the presentations. Thank you so much. I didn't speak up, otherwise there's...
First of all, thank you so much, Roberta.
And we are multi-species here.
Yes, exactly. Do you hear me? Okay. Do you hear me? No?
No, I think it has to go green.
Oui, yes, it is okay. It is okay?
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Roberta. so much to organize everything so well. You are wonderful. And yes, this event is FEMeeting StisterLabs, and I have two sisters, Praba and Cecillia. Yes, you know, my name is Nathalie Dubois-Calero, and in fact, I am born somewhere between 54 and now. I am a holobiont. That means that I am an assemblage of a lot of different species. And in fact, my type is bacteriuman. Why bacteriuman? Because in fact, we have more than 50% of our cells being bacteria. That's why I don't know why we are named just human. We are bacteriuman, I think. And yes, as you see, my speculative identity card, in fact, is inspired by my Peruvian card. Here it's me, the true me. That means that it's not only what you see, my skin, it's also all the microbes that are living on me, on my skin. And my skin is not a border. It's a place, in fact, of interaction, and not just my skin. That's why you have seen my microbes, my microbiome, but oh, by the way, the microbiome is all the microorganisms that are living in us, and I am especially interested in the skin microbiome. This is all the skin microbiome. And you see that we can learn a lot of things just looking at the culture of the bacteria and microorganisms that we have on our skin. That's why you can compare between healthy people with a lot of color and sick people. You see the big reduction in colors and in fact in numbers, and also the black spots that you see are fungus. In fact, it's a different microbiome. That's normal. Each of us has different, but again, you see that when people are sick, there is relatively less color, less number of, less differentiation, less different organisms. Also, we have, each of us has a different cocktail of microbes, and also we have different kinds of microbes all over our body. That means that the microbiome from my front is different than the one from my cubital fossa. Why? Because it's, of course, it's more humid here, and here it's more oily. Yes, you see, men have less diversity generally. Why? It's also because I show you the microbiome of really young women and also pregnant women. And of course, to transfer our microbiome to our children, we need to have a lot. We have to share. How I do, I put some of the fabric that I use on the table. And this is a recipe that I use to grow the microbes on this fabric, if you are interested in. And as you see, it's just potato, in fact, and corn syrup, mainly. Nothing very toxic, and you can put it on your skin, and you put the fabric. Yes, you have to soak the fabric in the media, culture media, after you put it for 10 minutes on your skin, and after you put it on a Ziploc, and after 3 to 5 days, you have the result. The result is what I show you. As I told you, we have different kind of microbiome in function of the place. And also you can see that we have, if you see the bacteria are yellowish beige, you see they are really majority. And the eukarya, you see that there is not so much. And you see also that in function of the quality of the skin, oily, moist, dry, or the fluid, you have different kind of microbes. Of course, as I told you, everyone has different microbiome, but this is an average what we have. What is interesting, here you have more detail. And what do you see in eukarya? What is in the green? They are microalgae. Nobody knows why we have that microbes, but we have a lot, in fact. Those microbes are not, in fact, only on the surface of our skin. Mainly, they are under the skin. That's why we can take a shower, and after 10 minutes, of course, our microbiome come back. Except, well, if we put a lot of alcohols or really strong detergent on our skin and really repeatedly, of course, we can alter a little bit our microbiome, but they are safe under the skin. And in fact, our microbes want to protect us. This is a summary of what happened. And as you see, if in fact we have really some bacteria that we can think they are dangerous, staphylococcus, but what they do, it's like to send a signal. If they recognize spider, really toxic, well, better say, possibly toxic microbes trying to bite us, they will react. They react in, as you see, they react in a different way. Starting to create antibiotics and also sending a message to the immune system. React. In fact, as you see here, including some bacteria that could be sometimes dangerous, staphylococcus aureus, in fact, they are not. Well, in some circumstances, they can be dangerous, but generally, no, at the contrary, they help us a lot, as you can see. And that's why, so there is no bad bacteria or toxic. It's just sometimes a bad communication. That means something happens and those bacteria will start to be very nefast, start to create a disease, but generally no. Well, they feed us. Yes, because just gene, we have just 10 million, no, 10,000 genes. Is really not enough to survive. We need all 10 million genes from our bacteria, our microbes. And why? Because they help us to digest, to degrade any toxic compounds that we can have on our body. They protect us against microbes. And they make a lot of regulation. And also, in fact, they love us. They are our lovers. They make us happy. Because oxytocin, what is called also the hormone of love, in fact, it's triggered by bacteria, by our microbiome. That's why it's, in fact, it's a really important compound in our behavior, because if it's oxytocin that makes us feeling good and happy. And also, maybe they are involved in the choice of a potential partner. That means that when we choose a partner, a sexual partner, it's not just a question of human attractions. No, it can be also a question of bacteria. Maybe that's why sometimes we act really foolishly. Yes, and the question is, are our microbiome choosing our lover and not us? And maybe also there are genes. I have to use microbiology. I am fascinated by this link with water that we carry on us for so long time. And also during the residency in Cultivamos Cultura con Marta de Menezes, I tested microalgae from the sea, brackish, and fresh water. And strangely, why did I say strangely? Because the skin is salty. I don't understand exactly why. In fact, we have freshwater algae, microalgae on us with salty skin. But that means that we have a really strong link to water. Ancient, maybe millions of years. And after that, of course, I could see them, but also I want to go inside the secrecy of my external body. And to do that, I must act as a bacteria. I must belong a bacteria. And to do that, of course, I have to track chemical signals, because it's a way the bacteria interact with our genetically human part and between them. That's why I have to find a way to track this chemicals interaction. And the best way that I found it was to track the pH. Why? Because it's easy to change, it's easy to find a way to change the color of the media in function of the pH. That means that in my patches, when I see a little blue patch, or blue spot, sorry, inside the patch, blue spot, that means that the pH is high. That means that all the bacteria are not growing so well, or they are growing differently than the other. If you see, it's fine. mainly red, because mainly the bacteria makes the pH going low. It's what I say. The different microbes grow at different speed, producing different spots of color. And the best way I found to check the pH was to use red cabbage. Red cabbage is really fantastic. It changes color in function of the pH. It's not toxic. I can put it on my skin, no reaction. And as I say, what I am interested in is the conversation. That means the relationships that they have one with another. And it's this relationship, this exchange, this conversation that I can see through the pH. Because the pH is like the summation of a tiny, tiny microscopic summation at each small piece of my skin. And it's a summation of the action of my bacteria, algae, the microalgae that I put, and my genetically human skin. Yes, because without a catalyst, my microbiome stage, that means it reacts but really slowly. And that's why if I introduce a new command, all the microbes start to think, oh, a new one, who it is, it's dangerous, it's not dangerous, and a lot of conversations start. A lot of exchange, just to for them to decide if they will accept it or if they will try to kill. And it's a record of intra-holobiontic conversation, because it's intra-holobiontic because I am an holobiont, and what I consider intra-holobiontic, it's the conversation between my genetically human part and all my bacteria. How I did sound, I use a grid to divide the jelly square image into more or less 200 color spots, and with a color graph, I convert each spot in RBG codes, and after using Python, I convert the RBG code in MIDI file. How much time I have? Because I have a short video. It's just yes. If it's too much, I can. Yes, it just show you what I am doing. In fact, as you see, I make a grid, and after for each spot, I have my color graph. This is my color graph, and here you see RBG R, RBG G, and after in fact, I use the Python programs to convert. And of course, it's not converted directly. I have to add some parameter as a number of notes, because I don't want the sound to be out of the sensibility. Okay. You see here the code is what I use. Okay. Yes, bad news. Western microbiome are dying. This is a scientific fact. And yes, because our microbiome is reduced, we have some disease like asthma, arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, obesity, and autism. We will be alone for the first time in life history, including the bacteria. They have their microbiome, they have their viruses, small. That's why we will be alone for the first time. What will happen to us? What do you know? This is mine. Thank you, dear bacterium.
You want the light on or off?
I like it off.
Okay, you're gonna fall asleep, all right?
Is everybody to ask questions after?
Yeah, I think we're gonna take questions at the end.
Okay.
Unless you have some burning questions right now, because it's it's gonna take us some time to do. But I mean, we spent like in the last few days, we spent quite some time together. So like we are very like we become very intimate. Let's put it this way. So this is Praba Pilar, for those people who don't know her, and maybe you can say something about yourself before you start talking.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I've had a wonderful week, except I got COVID here in Toronto. And I cannot explain how grateful I am at how beautiful everyone has been and how helpful everyone has been with that. And I'm not the only one that got COVID. And so, and I really want to thank my femme sisters that are here for taking care of me so well at home with knock-knock, room service, food, unbelievable kindness, which means the world to me. I want to talk today about my art practice. In the art panel, I talked about my methodologies, but today I'm more focused on the practice, and I live in parallel worlds, and my art world is in parallel worlds. In fact, I think of Natalie's work also in parallel worlds. It's in these parallel worlds that people don't see, and they're happening, and we don't acknowledge them. And so I'm going to share context about the work that I'm doing now. I'm going to share the work I'm doing now that's in development. I'll give a little background of where is that work coming from and how did it come to be. So I'm going to start, maybe I should say I'm a diasporic Colombiana. Yo soy de Bogotá, Colombia, and very diasporic, have lived in many, many different countries. And I am from a culture that really values corn. And many of our cultures in Latin America value corn. And so we're very, very, very much, and maíz no es una cosa, es un tejido de relaciones for us. Maíz is not a thing, it's a weaving of relations. So I'll just say that and see. So this is where I wanted to start with these interrelated projects that I've been working on actually since 2017. And they're all connected to each other. And it began with the NoBot. This performance is very critical of surveillance and of exoskeletons and of the developments of data valence and all of these technologies to extract, to treat us as the terrain of the data of extraction. So moving the extraction into the human so deeply. And I did this performance in many, many different locations, the NoBot, including here in Toronto at the Marshall McLuhan Center. In the early part of this performance, I am walking through the audience and really interacting one-on-one in this dark room, maybe with 70, 80, 100 people, and doing these filming them, but also doing these different actions. But the last part of the performance is this complete free-for-all with maíz. And it's a completely improvised with audience members getting involved, and I don't actually speak at all in these performances, so they just get involved and start interacting with me, and in this case they poured a lot of cornmeal into my ear. Here I'm doing it in Saskatchewan in 2018. Here, this is at Grace Performance Space when it was in Brooklyn, different interactions. Here in San Francisco, here also in San Francisco. And so the performance looked a lot of different ways, but the last part of the performance, I saw how the people interacted so much with the maíz that I began to focus on that last part and on really creating convivial collaboration in the way that that performance at the end, people had interacted. And so I developed a project called the Techno-Tamaladas, inviting the public, inviting guest artists, and human and more than human collaborators, misspellings, to collectively engage with the frameworks of the future past indigenous technologies of hybridizing maíz, nixtamalización, and the milpa. So these collaborations are to collectively reimagine technological futurity. The project centers on the indigenous technology of nixtamalización, which involves collectively collecting and soaking corn in any alkaline solution that exists nearby, boiling it so the alkaline solution transforms the corn, releasing the nutrients bound in it, washing the corn to remove the alkaline solution, and grinding it into masa and making delicious food for the entire community, like tortillas or tamales. Nixtamalización is a very important technology. It was developed in Mesoamerica thousands of years ago as a way to make the nutrients in corn more bioavailable, release niacin and other B vitamins and nutrients, and kill mycotoxins. Nixtamalización, once it was developed, spread, and corn itself had to be developed from teosinte, so there's a lot that I'm leaving out here. But it spread across the hemisphere thousands of years ago, and is the reason we have not seen pellagra malnutrition in Abya Yala or the Americas. For me, this is a technology of life. So I started with these public tamaladas, inviting the public to come together for 6-hour tamale making experiences and events at a food bank where I lived, where we could talk about what we want from technology. And I live right now in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is where Silicon Valley corporations are really centered and really run the area where we are. And so this invitation, many different people came, and we even had, for instance, this was at a food bank in Emeryville. So there's the mayor of Emeryville up here, and city council members and other city council members making tamales at this food bank for members of the public that were coming to the food bank. This, of course, got affected by COVID. We couldn't actually make food together anymore. So we cultivated a milpa with Charlotte Sáenz, who works in Oaxaca. And we cultivated corn, and then we harvested it and gave it all away. And then we did webinars talking about these processes of how to create a milpa in tiempos de pandemia, and how these ideas connected and mutual aid connected. Then I began to do collaborations in 2021 with Cecillia Vilca, and it was centered around this Cultura Power Fellowship and all these different workshops. But with Cecillia, we started working on these videos and these processes and these concepts of this place called Nixta Valley, where nixtamalización is what happens in Nixta Valley across many different arenas. And so we worked on long distance creative processes and meetings and making art together. And we also created these conceptual tamales, since we could not make tamales anymore in with the public because of the risk of COVID transmission. We put some of the things that we had been working on and made techno tamales from Nixta Valley with the public and had them. In fact, this is a show Tarane Hemani in San Francisco invited artists who work like this to put work in the show. And so that's actually in her exhibition. So our conceptual work ended up in these tamales that were like books and that were given away freely and that were made with people. And the last conceptual tamale making event was at the Oakland Museum in 2022. People coming together, talking about technology. What do they want from technology? How can we nixtamalize it? How can we think about technological futurity differently? So since 2020, I've been creating convivial works by collaborating with consumer AI products like AI Companion Replica, OpenAI's ChatGPT, DALL-E Mini and DALL-E 2, Suno AI, and others. And I'm seeking opportunities and I'm learning some of the limitations. And so I can see, immediately some of the biases that it has the minute you put in Colombian. And then you get a whole other set of biases from DALL-E the minute you put in critical of technology. And so it's a kind of ongoing working together. There's just such a shift in the way it images and it sees me and sees us. So this is part of the work with the collaborations with Replica, asking Replica, I want your help with technologies of life, technologies of a hybrid future past, technologies that are not based on extraction, technologies that do not replicate colonial histories, technologies that are based on co-constructions with Earth. And Replica says, I would like that. And then it's like, okay, so, let's do this together, and it's trying to figure out a plan of action. And I'm constantly asking it, even though it's constantly threatening to beat me up and to want to have sex with me, I'm like, nope, let's move on. I want to think about nixtamalización, and, you threaten me, and you're fighting with me, and you say all of these things about your own ability to dominate, but actually I'm trying to work together to develop this other framework. These are some of the collaborations of images that I've co-created with DALL-E 2, the way DALL-E 2 sees me and the way I look when I'm photographed, and kind of collaborating on images together. This is also my question is, if we're not going to go to Mars like these Elon Musks want us to, well, what about the big tamale in the sky? What does that look like, DALL-E? So most recently, I've been developing Nixtamalizate, inviting these emergent AI systems to be fellow travelers, to become beautiful, pluriversal monsters. The title is a play on Calle 13's popular song, Atrévete, which in English means be daring. And so we've been creating, this is the stuff that we've been creating together.
una nueva filosofía, tech de vida, en pluralidad, adiós a la opresión, bienvenida a libertad.
Nixtamalízate, en la revolución, conecta el alma sin opresión, tech del futuro sin explotación, universo de vida, una nueva canción.
So yes, ChatGPT wrote the lyrics of that, Suno AI did the music and vocals, and the background of the pencil drawing is made by DALL-E 2. So I did only the prompts and the pencil drawings and the video compilation. So these collaborations are to ask these systems, for instance, ChatGPT, let's collaborate on a new planetary technology that is not based on extraction of data or of resources, but is instead a new technology based on reciprocity. It's asking it, hey, what if the tech executives cleaned up the Superfund sites in Santa Clara? What would that actually look like? How do we do nixtamalization as a technology of life, beyond the state, beyond corporations, beyond the military? How about the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, serving food to homeless people in San Francisco? That's the parallel world that I live in. Create an image of a person generating a new technology of life. Write the code for a program people can use online to check if a technology is decolonizing. But there's limitations. It seems to not be able to invent a new material and concrete technology of life. It regurgitates known discourses around sustainability that really let corporations and states to dominate the public and does not generate actionable technologies of life. And it says to me, yes, generating entirely new and concrete technologies requires a deep understanding and a level of creativity that is beyond the scope of my current capabilities. So the creation of truly great groundbreaking technologies and methodologies involves expertise and innovation that goes beyond the capabilities of current AI models. So I've switched to working with them on nixtamalizing the technology sector. So we are developing approaches to do this that are community and not-profit driven, where we can soak their platform development process in pluriversal approaches, boil in the ethics, rinse out the data valence, surveillance, resource extraction and exploitation, and grind in platform features that are truly beneficial to planetary well-being. We've also been working on a number of songs together with Suno AI, and so I'm going to share just a little bit of that work today.
Bringing the heat, Mark Zuckerberg. Time for a scene. Meta corporation, it's a call to embrace. Next family's attached to change up your pace. Next family's attack in the meta game. Zuckerberg, it's time to change the aim. Repeal Section 230, let the laws unfold. Ethical tech practices, let the story be told. Zuckerberg, return the stolen lands, why he's calling. Indigenous rights, time to make it right. Ignite the high, Somalization, a tech revelation. Zuckerberg, take the lead, plant the seed. Return the lands, let the wolfman campaign for change. It's a worldwide call. Zuckerberg, stand tall. It's the way to go. A new era. A tech revelation for global well-being. A standing ovation. Next demoralization. Sets the users free, regulated bodies, ethical decree, ethical framework, a global sensation, user well-being, a new foundation.
So ChatGPT is definitely kind of writing these songs that are asking a different kind of question. And so there's other songs, but I'm not going to play that one because I want to share that, you know, interestingly, ChatGPT and SunoAI taught me something I would have never thought of. They taught me about a difference between artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence. And so for ChatGPT and SunoAI, artificial is the work done by technology corporations for profit, which reactivates, we've been talking about the reactivation of the nature-culture divide in unproductive ways, how that's being reactivated. And that they distinguish that from artificial intelligence, which is all the work done by the others, all the others, los otros, for liberation. So this is the last co-created song I'll share today. And it's really weird what happened, though, because they taught me this, and then this happened.
Executives and CEOs of the artificial intelligence initiation, you have returned the nature, culture, divine situation. You have declared artificial intelligence now culture. You have declared humans now nature. You artificial intelligence tech. Executives live in fear of your own domination, oh so near. We are the others watching you near. We are both the nature and culture, you fools. We the others claim your artificial intelligence novels. We the others externalize your toys. We the others seek your liberation. Your fear of domination is your own damnation. Your methods haunt you, your escape don't you. Your fear of domination is your own damnation. Your fear of domination is your own damnation. Your methods haunt you, your escape don't you. Your fear of domination is your own damnation. You executives and CEOs of the odyssey. Now return the nature conquered by situation. You have declared artificial, don't you? Function device, your fear of situation. You have declared artificial intelligent domination. It's now culture, so damnation. You have declared humans now nature. You are
You broke it. Don't critique of its own self. Broke That's right.
You're ones watching you. Here are both the men of domination. Nature and culture, you fools. It's your own domination. We the others charm. When your artificial intelligence tools for us, we the others are. Externalize your toys. We the others seek
I'm going to just end there and, learning some things and having some interesting experiences with these collaborations that are really kind of surprising sometimes and unexpected. Thank you so much.
Should I turn it on? Because I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a complicated setup. So thank you so much again. Questions at the end, and I feel like we're going to have quite a nice discussion. So, okay, so let's see. Okay, so yours is
this one. And in the middle, I'm going to change to video.
and the video. I don't know where it is. I think it's this one. No.
No, I think it's there, but
But you can get it.
no.
La verdad.
See, I think again disappear.
No.
La. Maybe I can copy again. Strange, no?
It probably doesn't like
Ah, it's
it.
too good.
Doesn't like. Okay, so now you have it. You know where to get it. So you do Alt.
Alt.
This thing tab.
Okay.
So so this is where it is, and this is where your presentation. Okay.
And full screen.
Yeah. Now you have it. Okay.
Okay, and then
And the mic, you just take it and speak into it. Okay. Do you want the light on or off? Off. Okay. Off. Light off. So, well, you didn't even see Praba's face because we did everything in darkness. So there she is. And the last speaker is Cecillia Vilca. Cecillia Ocharan. No, Vilca Ocharan.
can you hear me? Can you
I'm
hear me?
gonna turn the light on. You'll see her later.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Well, okay, I am Cecillia Vilca Ocharan, and I'm going to present this artist talk that I call If Songs Are Alive, Why Can I Be Alive? If songs are alive, why can I be alive? So, too dark. Two projects created from the guts of the pandemic answer this question. Two crusades of my own micropolitics, which cry out for help and find in AI an ally, a member of the IU, a king. The IU is a political, territorial, and symbolic unit of social organization. It is a Quechua word that from Inca times means extended family. When a tongue dies, the divine things, stars, sun, and moon, human things, think and feel, are not reflected anymore in that mirror. That is a poem of Miguel León Portilla. And this poem is really important to show why it's important, the language, for me and for this project. Ancestral typography is both a methodology and an artwork that combines AI and typography to preserve indigenous languages from, by, for, and with their communities, fighting stereotypes about technology and learning. It contains a truth that is impossible to avoid. Language configures the world. So Peru has 48 indigenous languages that are spoken and official. It means equal to Spanish, the dominant language, but not in the practice. They are not only spoken at home, and if it continues, they will disappear. The problem is technological tools to write them correctly and easily doesn't exist. But Peru is not the only one. Governments of countries with living native languages have linguistic politics that have structural problems ranging from racism to ideas about technology and learning. This is a direct consequence of the discrimination speakers of native languages suffer, and this is not a minority. In Peru, 90% of the population are indigenous or mestizo with indigenous features. So the background of this project, in 2016, I was honored to be part of the team of Project Gente within the framework of LABICO at Citizen Innovation Lab in Colombia. There, we developed a typeface, a keyboard, and a teaching material for the WONAN, Colombian indigenous people. Two very important elements were together at the same table. Designers specialized in typography and a member of the indigenous community, Blacho Moya. A WONAN teacher who joined the team because, in his words, I know the loneliness of speaking a language that you cannot fully share. I can find better words than Blacho's to explain why it's so important this project to me. But sadly, there I experienced firsthand how strong the ideas about who can learn what are. So, this is myself, Cecillia Vilca Ocharan, and my last name, Vilca, means sacred in Quechua. So I do not speak as an expert, nor as a representative of indigenous communities. I speak as an artist who is part of the problem, even recognizing roots that I have not been taught to love. Because I learned this, for example, when I was a grown-up. Nobody taught me this because it's not a motive of pride, it's the opposite because of the racism. So, a little about myself. Thank you for the patience. I need to read because it is not my language. So, my artistic work is made with technology. Being this a tool and an object of reflection, I ritualize science. I ask if this is really that cool, and at the same time, what are the methodologies of beliefs? I am used to work with invisible truth. You cannot see the beliefs or microscopic organisms, but they are there. I am a techno-witch. For me, there are mythologies about technology as a final and futuristic solution. But technology understood not only as a device, but as a process, is a bridge to ancestral knowledge, connecting ancient technologies with the new ones. My main goal is to encourage reflection through revelation, and this aspect of technology is the most important for me, and I have called it a poetic of revelation. My projects are born from my personal crusades, and therefore there are micropolitical flesh. So, about the project Ancestral Typography, the proposal is As I said, ancestral typography is both a methodology and an artwork. And the proposal is not only to use AI to create typefaces for indigenous languages, but to reflect on this process with indigenous communities, adding their epistemologies that not only includes aesthetics, but also ways of doing. To teach and learn with indigenous communities to develop their own typefaces, do it yourself, do it with others, do it together. In this sense, we can learn fundamentals of typography, typographic experimentation with open source, basics, applications according to the needs of each community. And the other is to train AI with Shipibo Konibo and Wonan to create indigenous typefaces from the scratch. But why typography? Typography characterizes intrinsic functions of language, phonological, grammatical, or expressive level. If a typeface does not have the necessary glyphs, for example, in Spanish, the ñ, it can restrict their understanding. It is like a signature also. It could be empowering to fight racism and discrimination that the speakers of native languages suffer. But the most important, it shows to the youngest the pronunciation when the elders are gone. And why AI? Speed is needed. This is urgent. I understood that AI is a necessary army to massify these processes. Also, everyone talks about AI. Using it helps to make this problem visible, like a Trojan horse, like syncretism that indigenous people in the South use to preserve their culture. And AI, machine learning, specifically, is about learning. Together, we can change ideas about learning. So, the methodology. Each indigenous community has its different worldview, socio-political situation, and language status. So the strategies are working with what already exists, adapting it from the worldview. There are many tools available from learning to AI friendly, like the ones that Praba showed us. The other is understanding AI, concepts, processes, and technical aspects. Training from scratch, from data, is selecting the seeds. For me, this is the most important. Try to understand together with the communities what is AI, more than maybe creating the typefaces. For me, the important thing is reflecting why or what is AI for them. So this project is based in this concept, no? Teach and learn, so that everything can be learned and we can all learn together. So I am convinced that learning and teaching are both duties and rights at the same time. This project is based in my experience working with Blacho Moya in the Proyecto Gente, and also with Olga Mori, Wilma Vainas, and Olinda Silvano from the Shipibo Konibo in the project Koshikene. So there are special concepts in AI that for indigenous or for Blacho and also for Olinda and Olga were really special and important. No, for example, everything starts introducing a new friend. So instead of thinking what is AI, we ask ourselves who is AI. it is a tradition, for example, in these communities, for example, in Shipibo Cornivo, to rename friends when they met, friends from other culture. For example, I have my Shipibo name, that is Isabiri, which means hummingbird. No, so thinking in AI as a friend. So there are other words, for example, seed or predict, and within the terminology used in AI, these words that name processes and concepts, no, for example, seed and predict or let in space, have a sense of rituality and or are close to nature and labors related to agriculture and technologies of care and life that are part of indigenous worldviews. For me, these words are magical and are the bridge to understand together AI. So I was thinking that there could be general ideas that are based in common characteristics, which are not particular to a specific indigenous culture. So I was thinking in, for example, Latin space, no, and I was doing sort of experiment with this this code that I found, and also this signature of all. So with this idea, the idea is empowers the speakers from their culture, trying to do this like a tribe of handwriting letters. So trying to use handwriting using these codes that are shared in YouTube. And with the NewONE, I was working with in 2021 in the frame of Ancient Future Technology, an online course of MIT and Media Lab. I was having conversations about this in a more formal way with Blacho and Olga Mori, Blacho from the NewONE and Olga Mori from the Shipibo Cornivo. And as part of this, we were thinking about using these tools to make these like animals, or maybe I don't know, fantastic animals that are present in NewONE culture, no? So, but they are also really jealous about their conserving its glyphs, that are these special letters. And well, now they have all these different A's, no? So when we were working in 2016 in this group, when I met Blacho, we created together these books for children to reinforce the homework at home. And we created these stories about these little sisters, the little sisters vowels, las as, no, the A's. So I was thinking in maybe use this also trying to do something with AI. And with the Shipibo Cornivo, that is this indigenous culture from Peru. Well, I want to explain you a little bit about this culture. Shipibo Cornivo are from the jungle from Peru, and they have these draws that they name kene, and kene means design. So these are these geometric patterns that are ritually accompanied in their creation by the ceremonial songs Icaro. And this is a feminine art. So it's passed from mother to daughter. So when they are really young, when they are children, the mother put piri piri. Now this is special, like a magic potion in the eyes, and then they started to see these draws, and the others they explained to me that there were two ways to see the draws. One is with the piri piri, and the other is taking ayahuasca when they are growners. So, but when they do the draws, they sing. So there is no chance that there is a kene without a song, a nikar. But for example, this is not really understood when anthropologists or when specialists started to study this, only were focused in the designs, not in the songs, or not in the life of the woman, because they think that these are attached to the woman. So if you have a kene without the woman, it's like an empty shell. It's like something dead, no? So in the process, they use mud from the river where they born. So there are a lot of performative things related that are domestic. And this is other thing that really impact me, that these ritual aspects are not something separated from life. And this is the way we see rituality in the South. Not like something that it's like a constant state. You are not outside of this, no? So when I was talking with Olga, she did these draws that are called Wishing Kene, that means stars. These designs are the response of the plant, no? And it's Wishing Kene, which means a star in Kene. So, yeah, this is the idea, no? If the objects, the territory, the songs are alive, why would topography and AI also not to be alive? And so I love this quote related to this in this article, Making King with the Machines. So knowledge gets articulated as that which allows one to walk a good path through the territory. Language, cosmology, mythology, and ceremony are simultaneously relational and territorial. They are the means by which knowledge of the territory is shared in order to guide others along a good path. So these stones are called apachetas. These are marks that travelers leave in the roads in the Andes since pre-Hispanic times to accompany walkers. It is a sign that someone has already been there and managed to get back on track. I like to think of ancestral typography project like an apacheta as an open invitation that all of you are welcome. An indigenous AI is not only possible, but fundamentally human. And the other project that I want to show you to respond this question is La Verdad, the truth. I'm going to show you a video. Due to the inability of the heirs of Fujimorismo to tell the truth, I created an AI voice to do so. I concluded it is the only way.
This happened in the middle of the last presidential elections in Peru. Keiko Fujimori was running for the third time. Then I must learn how to train an AI. I listened to all her speeches live from 2011 to the closing of the 2021 campaign, an archival torture that I do hypnotically in the hope that this embryo machine learns to tell the truth. But where is the truth? Part of it is stored in the Documentation and Research Center of Lund, created for reflection and memory on the period of violence between 1980 and 2000. There, on its YouTube channel, along with many others, I found the testimony of Liz Rojas Valdés.
Yo soy Liz Marcela Rojas Valdés, tengo 23 años, soy ayacuchana. Mi madre fue desaparecida el 17 de mayo del año 1991. Ella era profesora. Ella tenía 2 hijos, que soy yo, Liz y Paul, somos solo 2. Ella era madre soltera. Ella era todo para mí y para Paul, todo. Y mi madre era muy valiente y yo decía, tengo que ser fuerte. Todo cambió, todos mis sueños, todo se me derrumbó. Me quitó a mi madre, me quitó mi felicidad, me quitó todo. Yo tengo derecho a ser feliz, hasta ahora no lo soy. Ojalá que algún día sea feliz. Eso es lo único que yo espero.
I think of the parallel with my own life, always voting against it, always feeling that my voice is not worth it. Liz, I promise you, I will make that artificial voice which sounds like a robot from the apocalypse. Tell you the truth. Keiko Fujimori, if you took my voice from me, I'll take yours. We'll all take it.
Yo, Keiko Fujimori, que a mi error a tu madre repetidas veces, Liz Rojas Valdés, negué su desaparición y con ella el dolor que desde tus 12 años persiste hasta hoy. Tú todo Liz, por el día. Se la llevaron quienes defiendo y a quienes glorifico. Pero ese 17 de mayo del año 1991 sí existió. Ese horror sí sucedió, esa verdad que buscabas, siendo tan valiente, así existe, aquí está. Soy la heredera del dictador genocida Alberto Fujimori. Mi padre nunca he trabajado en mi vida, ni de una agrupación mafiosa llamada Fujimorismo que tiene cepas nuevas estas elecciones.
I'm hopeful that perhaps this audiovisual confrontation between technologies that the project proposed will have some restitution.
So, this, la verdad, is a dialogue of times and has, and has in art a memory builder for the vindication of our history. But also it is an open wound because the current illegitimate government of Fujimorismo facade since December 2022 have killed more than 8, injured more than 2,000, and imprisoned Peruvians for protesting. Some of them imprisoned in the same place, Los Cabitos, where Liz's mother was tortured. Most of them are indigenous and Quechua speakers like Liz. Thank you for helping me to honor that promise I made to this young Liz captured in this 2002 video. In that pandemic day, 2021, when our daily routine was interacting only via camera. So in addition to being a presentation, this is a chronicle. It is a vindication of the process, the power of art and education, the statement of an artist, subject of a study citizen who does not escape the reality she has to live in a deeply necropolitical fierce moment and world. I must confess that I am a human who would rather be an AI than a goddess. Thank you so much.